Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. Time for Season 4 of Teen Titans. This season focuses on Raven and her personal antagonist. It's the only one with a 3-part finale, and it could be argued to be the perfect ending for the story as a whole. Will Season 4 manage to surpass the undefeated Season 1? Let's find out. A Japanese intro is never a good sign. This is a Beast Boy episode, and it has Control Freak as the villain, and I made my stance on these silly episodes pretty clear last time. Will this one manage to stand above the rest, or will it be another skippable episode? We'll see. I like how the episode already tries to establish a theme early on, which is watching too much TV is unhealthy. It's a little on the nose, but it's better than the other silly episodes. I like how Control Freak leveled up his powers since his last appearance, like Mad Mod and Mumbo Jumbo. Before, he could only bring objects to life. Now he can enter TVs. Silky's also here, showing continuity. The plot is just the characters chasing Freak through different TV shows with some references, but some of the jokes are funny. I like the football bit. Also, the team that was playing was Steel City, which is where the Titans East are. I don't know if it's been said yet, but the Titans West are from Jump City. I also found the Zinthos bit funny. The episode also includes images of real people, which is likely the only time this will happen. I also like the news segment and the world peace bit. The fourth wall is broken a few times, one being when Cyborg says that this is the first episode of Season 4. The second act break has Beast Boy using his knowledge of TV to counter Control Freaks. The aspect ratio is changed when they enter the Star Wars spoof, but the black bars eventually fall off. Robin's staff breaks again. Beast Boy wins with the Deus Ex Machina, and everything goes back to normal. It's humorous that the episode has the characters acknowledge that the lesson is confusing. Too much TV is bad, but they only won because BP watched so much TV. This does have a good lesson, because Control Freak is a representation of a lot of people out there. It's arguably gotten worse since this aired, with Reddit and Discord mods looking identical to Control Freak and producing very little value in the world. This was decent, but not a great way to start the season. This is easily the weakest season opener. Wikipedia has the episodes in what I assume is the air date order, but the production code shows what order the episodes were supposed to be in. I'll be going in the production order. This is the Cyborg episode. At the start, Cyborg is talking about keeping up with current technology when he's zapped to the past, 3000 BC. Cyborg blasts the monsters with his cannon, and this one overconfident blonde guy is taking L's left and right. He's Crawl, and it gets worse when Cyborg replaces him as the champion. Then we learn that Crawl is on some syndrome energy and had those monsters made so that he could look like a hero, but it didn't work. This episode focuses on Cyborg's half-machine life again. He needs to create electricity in the past to recharge himself before he shuts down. The writers always find new and interesting ways to explore the same character traits. Besides that, this is the third potential love interest Cyborg has had. First Jinx, then Bumblebee, now Sarasim. He's above Raven and Starfire. The internal conflict is that he needs to return to his time to survive, but her people need him here to survive the attacks from the invaders. It's an interesting dilemma. I also realized that this is the first episode to really isolate one character. Deception from Season 3 somewhat isolated Cyborg, but the crew came back in the final battle. Titans East kinda did the same, but we saw the other Titans in the final battle once again. But here, the Titans are irrelevant throughout the episode. One might call this Cyborg alone. When they are attacked again, Cy has to save power and comes up with the successful plan of breaking the dam to destroy the monsters. His fists are damaged as a cost though. This is strange considering his fists never received damage from breaking stone before, but it adds to the stakes so I can let it slide. Then the story makes another elite move. Crawl gives Cyborg what he wants, a chance to return home. But when he realizes that Crawl has been the secret villain the whole time, he chooses to sacrifice his want in order to save people. It kinda reminds me of Spider-Man 2, where Peter wants a normal life, gets it, but then throws it away in order to save people. This technique shows what the character values and provides depth to them. Cyborg uses a samurai sword catching technique to break Crawl's sword during battle. That was cool. Crawl cheats by fusing with the monsters and beats up Cyborg, even throwing him off a cliff into water like he's Killmonger. Except this came over a decade before Black Panther. Cyborg ran out of power, but the people saved him from the water and made electricity to recharge him. He's only given 7%, which is a good way to create stakes. The heroes are losing, so Cyborg tries to fire one last shot to save Sarasim, but Raven pulls him back to the present at the last second. He's understandably distraught. The writers did a great job at creating investment in the audience so that we feel his pain when the fight is interrupted. The episode ends with Raven showing him a book that shows him that Sarasim won in the end. The last line is Cyborg saying that he didn't need his armor in the fight. I'm not sure what the theme was supposed to be, but this was an enjoyable episode. I actually was dreading this episode because the last time I watched it, it was boring, but this is a very solid episode. The character development and plot twists were great. This is the first key episode and it focuses on Raven. This is the second time Dr. Light is the introductory antagonist in a Raven episode alongside great music. The animation is noticeably more impressive, making the action scenes look better. I love the first person action as usual, and Robin's staff breaks as usual. Raven gets Light to surrender, but then she's acting suspicious about tomorrow. We cut away and see the goat rise from the ground. Slade is back, baby. The writers just couldn't help keeping this elite unit of a villain out of the story. This is the third time he's played a major role in an overarching plot of a season. The Titans have a surprise birthday party for Raven. Apparently no one knew her birthday, and BB had to do some snooping to figure it out. This is his second or third time spying on Raven. The other times were Spellbound and arguably Nevermore. And how do they not know her birthday? That's one of their closest friends. They live together. Does that mean they also don't know her age? She is a pretty private character, so I can let that slide. This is the first time a character has had a birthday or aged up. In episodic shows, the characters usually stay the same age, or age up between seasons. The BB Robin joke is funny. I like how Robin brings up the fact that Raven entered in his mind in Haunted. Nice continuity. Robin tries to get her to open up like a good friend, but it's ineffective. While meditating, she hears Trigon's voice. The first time he appeared was in Nevermore. Now his Chekhov's gun is coming close to firing. Robin checks up on Raven like a good friend, again, but Slade causes trouble, attracting the Titans' attention. Slade comes back with new powers and he's here to ruin Raven's life. He's so cool as usual. It kinda sucks seeing him work for someone, but I'll put a pin in that. He became a firebender over summer break and starts schooling the Titans. Robin's staff breaks again. When Robin is in danger, Raven freezes time and we get to see Beast Boy mid-transformation, which was a mistake. Slade unfreezes himself because he's that guy, and Raven unfreezes Robin. This is the first Raven-Robin episode. This actually means that Raven has had an episode with every Titan. She had car trouble with Cyborg, switched with Starfire, and Nevermore with Beast Boy. She's the first Titan to accomplish this. The combos that are missing are Robin and Beast Boy, Cyborg and Beast Boy, and Cyborg and Starfire. What is happening? It's my birthday. I love that dialogue. Slade is a movie monster and just can't be stopped. He keeps talking about delivering a message. Why couldn't he just text it or say it instead of repeating I have a message? In the chase scene, the animated background looks clean and makes the characters feel like they're moving fast. Slade catches up and starts ripping off her clothes, revealing the curse marks underneath. This kinda reminds me of season 3's finale, when Blood is brutally chopping up Cyborg. It's brutal and slightly uncomfortable, but it works. Slade gives her a vision of an apocalyptic future, which she's destined to create. After stripping her, mentally tormenting her, and dropping her off a building, my man really said, "Oh yeah, happy birthday." How can you hate Slade? Time resumes and Robin saves Raven. This is one of those few episodes where the villain wins and it's kinda depressing. In X, Robin got the chips, but the ending was bad because of Robin's arc. In Betrayal and Aftershock Part 1, the villains just win. After everything, Raven sadly cuts her hair, and the Titans celebrate her birthday anyway. Beast Boy has a great quote here. "You may not like your birthday, but we're all glad you're born." That's deep. When I was a teen, I liked this episode for different reasons, but now it's just okay. A majority of the plot was just a psychopath chasing two kids around the city. I can't even confidently state what the theme is. Is it There's Always a Bright Side? That's my best guess, because even though Raven's birthday signifies the end of the world, it allowed for her friends to meet her. This is the first certified classic of the season. It is a Robin episode. It starts with Robin fighting Kataro, and the choreography is good. I just wish they stopped doing that white flash for every hit. When Robin says he's trained with the best, this is a nice nod to Batman. After losing in 3 moves, he decides to train with the master Kataro told him about. It's nice to see an episode focused on a different aspect of Robin, especially his martial arts. When he leaves, Cyborg says he takes himself too seriously. Radix told him the same thing. Robin meets an old lady who tells him about the true master and travels with him. He has to leave his gadgets behind to visit him. This takes Robin out of his element and forces him to adapt and improve. I love it. An episode focused on Robin's utility belt and technological knowledge would be interesting. He also has to make it to the top of the mountain before sunset, a ticking clock. Robin's first challenge is fighting a talking bear. Back at the tower, the greatest B-plot begins to take place. Starfire thinks back to all her romantic moments with Robin and sulks due to his disappearance. Then she finds Beast Boy dressed up as Robin. The Beast Boy wonder joke is excellent and a great reference. BBW gets Starfire to cosplay with him. Back at the A-plot, Robin starts acting like Bruce Lee and beats the bear. Kataro lurks in the back. He stole Robin's belt before. Robin runs into the old woman again, suspicious. He asks how she got there, and she gives a weak answer. She leads him to the second challenge, a battle against a blind snake. I like how Robin won't fight someone who's blind, but the snake puts out the candles and puts his hands on Robin. He can't hit his target in the dark. The snake says he can't rely on his eyes or ears, so I guess Robin uses his sixth sense to catch him. He puts bandages on his fists after leaving because he punched a rock. If he actually used his sixth sense, it'd be cool if it popped up in other episodes. The B-plot shows BB and Stardust as Robin, and Cyborg joins them. Robin, the overachiever, is climbing a mountain when he sees the lady above him. Once again, he asks how she got there and she gives a weak answer. She mentions there being an easy way and a right way to do things. Raven finds the three pretending to be Robin and the others persuade her into joining. Back with Robin, he has his third challenge, the monkey. The monkey rips off Robin's sleeves, updating his design again and making him look like a street fighter. Robin uses the bamboo to land a hit and moves on. Robin finds the True Master's building at the top of the hill as the sun sets, but Kotaro stops him with his utility belt. The plot twist is that Kotaro never trained with the True Master and used Robin to get to him. His fight with Kotaro begins with him winning, but then Kotaro uses Robin's weapons and gains the upper hand. Robin is about to quit, but the old lady reminds him of what he learned and gives the thematic quote of the episode. There is always going to be someone who does things the easy way, but that should not stop you from doing things the right way. Brilliant quote, and a brilliant message for all ages. Ryu beats M. Bison in 3 moves, using the 3 lessons he learned. That's a double callback. The old lady is revealed to be the True Master. Even she says that he takes things too seriously. They train and we cut back to the 4 Robins. Raven has been indoctrinated now. The episode ends with Robin nonchalantly returning and agreeing that the masks make him feel cool. I love this B-plot because it's an entertaining, comedic break from the main plot. It's a funny, creative concept that takes advantage of the setting and characters, and there's even a punchline payoff that connects to the A-plot at the end of the episode. This was a great episode overall. The pacing in the A-plot was great, and it felt like it had momentum. Robin faced 3 unique challenges and then had a final fight. The theme was also well executed. It was set up before the journey began and paid off in the climax. The villain represented the anti-theme, and Robin and the Master represented the theme. The plot twist was also clever and set up well. This show loves mysteries and plot twists. The idea was amazing too. Like Cyborg the Barbarian, this is an isolated episode for Robin. Although the Titans were sprinkled in the B-plot, they have no role in any of the A-plot. This is probably the most flawless episode so far. I just wish what Robin learned was kept for continuity. He never uses any of these lessons and isn't a noticeably better fighter after this. Phenomenal episode nonetheless. The writer's Amy Wolfram, who I've mentioned before. This is a Beast Boy episode and probably the most bizarre start to an episode. It starts with a UFO coming to a farm to take a cow, but then the farmers reveal themselves to be the Titans in disguise and they fight back. The camera movement showing Robin dressed as an old man looked amazing. The drawn background really added to the camera movement. Small detail, Starfire is dressed as the old lady next to the man, presumably his wife. There's also motion blur in this episode. The animation is very expressive, and the intro is in a foreign language. Not a good sign. Robin has a bird-shaped helmet and a new cave that allows him to glide with rocket boots. They should keep this upgrade. The animation of the drawn backgrounds is once again breathtaking as all the Titans fly. A new restaurant is introduced and BB's moped obsession is brought back. I don't know why he can't just have Cyborg or Robin build one for him. This question is answered when he asks Cyborg to build one with him. He's too busy fixing the fake cow though. Raven gives some great advice of working for money to buy one. That's a good mindset to teach kids. He tries and fails at many jobs before resorting to the meat restaurant. The episode reminds us that BB is vegetarian, but he puts that aside to win a moped from his shady manager. The song that plays when he sees the moped is groovy. The manager keeps getting BB's name wrong and hires him. Bob, the manager, goes into the back where meat is, so Beast Boy doesn't ever want to enter there. Setup. The job is easy, but we see what's going on in the back. Bob is turning himself into burgers and serves an unseen creator. That's disgusting. I like how Raven and Cyborg help BB by letting him stay at the job while they fight. The trio's bond is displayed again. It's been a while since they've paired up. The animation during the fight looks great thanks to drawn, moving backgrounds. This really makes a difference. A plot twist occurs during the battle. The UFOs aren't piloted, but are powered by cows. When the customers get hectic and Bob doesn't help, BB goes in the back and discovers the secret. There is no meat. The seller is the secret base hosting the cows, and it's always been a new kind of tofu, dubbed Nufu. The source is the main villain, and the tofu comes from him. The Tammy joke was funny. Beast Boy fights and escapes with the source on a moped. When he returns to the tower, he interrogates the source by threatening to eat him, so he snitches on his weakness, water. BB saves the day by turning off the base. The episode ends with Cyborg eating the source. The episode's not as bad as I remember. Beast Boy is extremely competent and saves the day mostly on his own. There's also the lesson of working for money, but it's not the theme of the episode because it isn't really focused on. BB doesn't win the moped because of his job. He steals it. It's an okay episode with great animation. This is a Starfire episode that might be another certified classic. The episode starts with the Titans being impressed by Valyor's heroism. If you saw Sisters, this is already a red flag. When everyone likes the new character, these writers are probably stirring up a plot twist. Valyor seems disappointed that the team has a Tamaranian. The bird's eye view when Robin says, "Neither will we," looks nice. The Titans go to space to help Valyor defeat the Locrics. On the ship, they're all impressed with his stories. Kinda sounds like Blackfire in Sisters again. Valyor gives everyone but Starfire a role on the ship. That's the second hint. When the Locrics attack, he does this again, hint number 3. The heroes fight back and the action looks great. He compliments the 3 Titans fighting with him, but snaps at Star when the enemy she saved him from touches something dangerous. Hint 4. After the fight, Starfire tries to apologize again because she's nice like that, but Discount Superman doesn't want her help and calls her the name of the episode, Troq. Her gasp tells us that this word has weight. Robin notices she's acting differently twice before Valyor calls her a Troq again. He says it a third time when he finally gives her a role, moving minds. Robin doesn't think it's safe, but Star stands up for herself and asks if Valyor wants to move it himself. He says he needs to stay inside. Star wants to prove her usefulness and agrees to do it. Cyborg checks up on her like a good friend, and Valyor calls her Troq for the 4th time. Cyborg asks what it means. She says it means nothing. He says it a 5th time when she's moving the mines. She almost messes up, but she cleans up her mistake. While she's moving the mines, Valyor stopped Robin from trying to save her. But everyone celebrates her success. His hater looks upset. Cyborg greets Star with Troqy, and she gets pissed. The clever plot twist is that Troq literally means nothing. It's an insult. The iconic scene is where Star asks Cy if he knows what it's like to be judged because of how he looks, and he responds with, "Of course, I'm part robot." This is clever writing, because when you watch the whole series in order, or at least the Cyborg-focused episodes, you'd know that this would be the most likely response. He struggled with being half robot in multiple episodes, the sum of his parts, only human, Deception, and Cyborg the Barbarian. These writers masterfully managed to sneak in commentary about race without being on the nose. The black character would have been the easy choice, but Cyborg isn't defined by his blackness, so instead, they went with a fictional alien race. I also like how their solution isn't to just beat up Valyor, because that would be ignorant. They're really teaching good lessons for all ages in this show. Who wrote this? Amy Wolfram strikes again. Cy wants to tell Robin, but Star doesn't want to bother him. I like when characters both want the best for each other, but have different ways of going about it. Cy says that Robin would want to hear this, which any good friend would. The spinning camera when Robin hears the news is dope. I love how he wants to make Valyor apologize immediately. He's a ride or die friend. But Starfire, being the kind character, stops him and says that they need to focus on the mission. When Val gives orders and leaves out Star, Robin points this out like a true friend. He tells her to guard the ship, calling her Troq again. Starfire decides to go with Valyor against his orders and reflects an earlier line back onto him. The heroes arrive on the beach and execute D-Day. Star and Val continue to argue as they head to their location. She keeps trying to help, but he doesn't want it. In the climax, Valyor gets captured and Star forcefully saves him before the place blows. She has a great quote, "You may not value my life, but I value yours." Back on Earth, all the Titans know Val's secret and are giving him attitude when he's leaving. They force him to thank Star, but he says, "one of the good ones," and they don't accept that, as they shouldn't. He now dislikes them and leaves on bad terms, saying that the Earthlings are like the Troqs. The episode ends with the enlightened Starfire giving a quote for the theme. "There's nothing you could have done. There will always be people who say mean words because you are different, and sometimes their minds cannot be changed, but there are many more who do not judge others based on how they look or where they are from. Those are the people whose words truly matter." Like other episodes, the ending is not completely happy. Valyor doesn't change his ways. This is a spectacular episode. It manages to tackle a difficult subject elegantly without coming off as preachy. The episode really pushes the limits of Star's kindness. Valyor is on the good side, but he's extremely disrespectful to her. This combo doesn't allow her to just fight him like she can with Blackfire, who's evil. In the end, she chooses to treat Valyor with respect, despite his behavior. I think it would be cool if there was a future episode where the word Troq no longer affected Starfire because of this episode. She needs her own season. The episode starts with Robin obsessing over finding details from the Slade recording, and Raven having a dream of Trigon telling her that she's destined to destroy the world. Slade starts firebending and the Titans go to jump him again. Already, my fears of this episode are coming true. This episode is so similar to Birthmark that I believe I either missed it or completely forgot about it when it came on TV. Slade is doing Trigon's bidding and talking about Raven's prophecy. How different can this episode get to justify its existence? We'll find out. Slade says the symbol is called the Mark of Scath. Slade says he's here to deliver a message again. He also draws the Mark of Scath with fire around the city and burns everything except for the library, which has the mark. Raven doesn't want to go in, so she's clearly withholding valuable information from them, and Slade wants to expose that. Raven runs away and plans to leave Earth while the Titans learn that Scath is coming to Earth through a portal. The shot where Robin is running towards Cyborg as he fires a laser had good cinematography. The heroes keep fighting and running from ghosts until they find a secret passage that was supposed to have the gem they were looking for, but it's not there, and Slade explains. Meanwhile, Raven arrives on Azarath after using an extended incantation. During the Slade fight, Slade grabs a starbolt and throws it back at her, which is disrespectful. On Azarath, Raven meets her mom, Arella, who appears to be human. How did she and Trigon have a child together? Arella is unable to help Raven, and the real Azarath is revealed, a city in flames. Raven comes back to save the Titans. We learn that she's the gem, and Slade is not allowed to harm her. After she beats him up a little, he disappears. Scath's true name is revealed to be Trigon, and apparently everyone knows him. It is finally revealed that Trigon is Raven's father. So this episode gave us Raven's mother and father, and revealed that Raven was a portal by which Trigon would come to Earth. I don't think that's enough to warrant its own episode, especially since it's so similar to Birthmark. These key details could have been put in Birthmark. Furthermore, there is no theme in this episode. The action isn't great, nor is the plot. The little bit of character development in Raven is that she's no longer scared of Slade. Again, this could have been worked into Birthmark, considering how that plot is empty, and a lot of the episode is just running from Slade. Once again, another key episode lacks a theme, which is a trend that started in Season 2. When the characters were fighting the ghosts, there was barely any progress in the plot or characters. The characters just kept fighting and it felt like filler. This is similar to the chase scene in Birthmark. It went on for a long time without any progress being made. I could summarize the scenes as, Raven ran from Slade, and the Titans fought ghosts. That's not good. There should be reveals or new problems in order for the plot to not feel static. The Titans go to space to fix the communication station when they learn a monster destroyed it. The comedy and music in the cold open is great. The intro is in Japanese, meaning that this is a comedic episode. Sai, BB, and Raven had some really epic and layered teamwork at the start of the fight. I wish strategies like this happened more often. It's also cool that this trio did it, because they do have a comedy trio dynamic occasionally, especially in Season 1. The starbolt designs go back and forth. Last episode they were just white and green, now they're back to the wave pattern. This has been happening, but I'm realizing that it's just on and off. Robin and Star hold hands while jumping off the bridge to defeat the enemy, which leads Cyborg to tease Robin by calling her his girlfriend. It's always Cyborg mocking Robin. Robin channels his inner Chowder and denies this, but Star misunderstands this and gets mad at him. Robin doesn't know how to respond to this. Apparently Playboy Bruce didn't teach Robin any game. The monster comes back and blows up the station while the Titans fly away, but he's resilient and jumps on their ship. The Titans separate and end up in different locations. The song that plays when this happens shares similar chords with a section towards the end of Attack Pattern Alpha from Final Exam. I noticed that I bring that episode up a lot. The music as Robin flies down continues to sound great. The Titans are all stranded. When Robin and Star unite, she's acting petty and distant. This is like forces of nature, except it makes sense. In her eyes, Robin, her established love interest, just said that he's not her friend. This is because as a foreigner, she doesn't know what girlfriend means. Cyborg and Beast Boy have funny gags and references, while the latter tries to rebuild the former. This plotline is actually a good callback to a scene at the start of the episode. Cyborg says some complicated stuff, and Beast Boy asks why he can't just speak normally. Now Cyborg has to learn to simplify his instructions to help BB rebuild him. Raven is being bothered by some tiny aliens. Robin saying that he hoped Star would forget is hilarious. He really has no game. This A-plot has good progress on their relationship and shows an unfamiliar side of both of them. Robin having no game and Star being reasonably upset with a friend. Apparently, Starfire actually understands what Earth's girlfriend means by her explanation of it. So it's not that she thinks Robin hates her, it's that she wants to be more than friends. And then the writers throw in an epic plot twist / callback that has been cleverly hidden throughout the episode. Starfire can't fly. Throughout the episode, she's been walking when most of the time she flies. She's unable to fly because, as stated in Switched, she has to feel unbridled joy. She's clearly upset in this episode, so she can't fly. That's also why she used an arrow to save Robin rather than a starbolt. Switch says she needed to feel fury, but apparently her confused emotions prevented her from using it. This is a little inconsistent because she used her powers in Date with Destiny and Transformation, but I'll let it slide. Robin turns it to him and saves her by jumping down a long drop and using his grappling hook. He did this in Sisters and Masks too. Robin likes to jump off the edge. The two continue to make progress in their relationship. Due to this, Star's powers start to come back when the monster reappears. Robin runs out of hooks and they need Star's flight. He holds her hand and gives her a motivational line, which leads to a callback to the start of the episode. The two defeating the monster by jumping down, holding hands, and flying back up. They win and the ship is restored. Chekhov's victory. This is easily the best Goofy episode, probably because it isn't that goofy. The B and C plots are goofy, but the A plot is entirely serious. The quest had the same formula, so I don't know why this isn't considered a serious episode. Anyway, despite having no theme, It had amazing character and relationship development for Robin and Starfire. The plot always felt like it was moving and something new was happening. The plot never felt static. Robin and Star's relationship kept building with every scene they shared. This was a fantastic episode. My only criticism would be that Robin and Star's romance should have been solidified here rather than in the movie. They got too close to establishing a relationship to just back away from it. Star clearly understood what a girlfriend was and subtly displayed that she wanted to be Robin's girlfriend. This is a Cyborg episode. I like how Cyborg and Robin play basketball together. We rarely see the two hang out, and it shows a lighter side of Robin. Him hanging out with everyone is cool, and shows more of the bonds that the Titans have. Cy wants to do more in life, and uses the maximum 7 to enhance his abilities. The Titans confront Adonis, and Robin brings back his quips. Now, Cyborg is interrupting all of his allies' attacks, and handling Adonis on his own. This is like Robin in Apprentice Part 1. This is funny, but Robin remains a little skeptical. He was the first to ask if it was safe when the Max 7 was introduced. A nice callback is that during Cyborg's new routine, he coaches Little League for the boy with the wooden arm and the sum of his parts. Billy Numerous is the main antagonist of this episode. The spinning shot looked cool. Robin's fight choreo brought back motion blur. Him running on the building later looked clean due to the drawn and animated backgrounds. The others go to rest while Cyborg keeps searching for Billy since he has the Max 7. He doesn't want to ruin his schedule, so he takes away his energy for sleep and gives it to the Max 7. Cyborg uses double sonic cannons for the first time. As he keeps failing to catch the criminal, he takes away hunger, fun, and emotion to power his Max 7. This makes him robotic the next day. Cyborg ends up shutting down during battle, and the Titans have to remove the chip. Cyborg thinks that he can't beat Billy without his chip, but BB gives him the tortoise and hare metaphor. The Titans duplicate themselves to fight the multiple Billys. Robin uses an extended power pole for the first time. The Titans force Billy to keep multiplying until he hits his limit. This forces all the clones to return to the original. The Titan clones were made by Cyborg's holograms. This was a clever strategy. The episode ends with Cyborg sleeping. The holograms should come back. This was a good episode. While the theme is never stated, it's clear that it has a similar message to the tortoise and the hare. Sometimes you need to take it slow. Cyborg and Billy's powers did a great job of being a medium for the themes. It's been a while since I've used that praise. This episode starts with Mother Mae Eye already in possession of the Titans. It kinda reminds me of the start of Switch, because the enemy takes over the Titans. It surprisingly has an English intro. We see Robin put on his gel for the first time, and Mother's true form is briefly shown in the mirror. He goes back to the Dick Grayson hairstyle again. Starfire is the only one who is somewhat resistant to brainwashing. The pie is revealed to be the source. The Hive finally returns. This time, they are a 5-man team with Private Hive and Seymour. Mother's clothes are getting in the way of the Titans. The see-through vision joke was funny. Robin is the only one doing well despite missing all his gadgets. The music during the fight is epic. Mother chases the Hive away, but Star becomes free from the Mind Spell. Mother tries to bake the Titans a pie, but Star fights back. When she's captured and forced to eat a pie, her 9 stomachs allow her to throw it back up after pretending to be brainwashed. This comes out of nowhere and is a Deus Ex Machina. Star wakes up the Titans and they fight back. It's later revealed that Mother infiltrated the tower through a pie Cyborg brought home. During the montage, Cyborg brings out a saw, which I believe is the first time. The group pretends to have eaten the pie and destroys her spoon when she drops her guard. When she reverts to a pie, they give it to the Hive 5. Petty. This episode had no character development, no theme, an uninteresting plot, and passable action. Definitely one of the weaker episodes. This started as a Starfire episode, but it turned into a Robin one by the end. I don't know how this wasn't a silly episode, but Stranded was. The End is Season 4's multi-part finale and is the only one to have 3 parts. The Bloom effect is back for the first image. Slade has an unspecified deal with Trigon, and Raven's curse marks come back. Robin saying he loves sunrises is an unexpected part of his character. He's uncharacteristically cheerful. Raven tries and fails at making pancakes. She knows the end is near, so she tries to be extra positive. This is a new and interesting side of her. Once again, the writers explore ways in which characters deal with stress. This was done in the first and third episodes of Season 1. She asked to hang out too, but Plasmus attacks. The scene of the Titans flying through the buildings looks phenomenal, and is probably the best execution of animated background so far. They do it again when Robin runs on the truck Plasmus throws. The action looks great, and the music is too. After ending the fight, Raven suggests pizza. She continues being positive, but the end of the world comes sooner than expected. The Titans prepared for this, and decide to keep Raven in a safe room. BB gives her his lucky coin he got from the previous scene. I think this will come back later. Trigon and Raven argue, and the former says that he decides her destiny. This might be the anti-theme for the episodes. Slade brings his fire army and the Titans confront him. This man has managed to play important roles in 3 season finales. The light coming from the top of the tower, revealing the Titans in it, was cool. A fight with epic music ensues. Beast Boy brings back his werebeast form from the Beast Within, which is an epic callback. Sai hooks himself up to the tower and upgrades his weapons. There is a blue effect during his power-up sequence. Using all of the power in the tower, he creates 2 giant cannons and fires them at Slade. These power-ups are epic. Slade is unfazed and the Titans start losing until Raven interrupts. She puts her team to sleep and joins Slade to fulfill her destiny. Raven says Trigon won't deliver on his promise, and even his army is shown to disobey him. Trigon betrays Slade and takes his powers away once he has Raven. The Titans come back for Raven and try to talk to her. Robin says that she can deny the prophecy, which seems to be the theme. Raven becomes the portal, bringing back Trigon. She drops the lucky coin during this. This is how the episode ends. Obviously the story is incomplete, but at least pieces of the theme are shown. Raven's way of coping with the end of the world was good character development. The music was good, the action looked great, and Cyborg and Beast Boy's power-ups were fitting for a season finale. Trigon arrives and immediately scorches the earth. The Titans are protected by Raven's magic. All humans are turned to stone, just like the visions of the key episodes. Robin reacts awkwardly to Starfire's hug. This is what I'm talking about. Their relationship should have been solidified and stranded. No more will they, won't they. Robin remains optimistic, and they all discover that Raven left them some of her power. Trigon made the Titans tower his throne, which is just disrespectful. The Titans attack him, but he's unharmed. Starfire calls back to when she used Raven's powers and switched, and says that her emotions are connected to her powers. Nice callback. They use Raven's magic, but it doesn't work. When they get knocked into the library, they meet Slade, who's lost his mark. Slade comes in with the coolest lines of dialogue he's ever spoken and teams up with Robin to save Raven. Yes, you seem to have everything under control. You mistake my generosity for regret. I only offer my assistance because it suits me. It's the end of the world. Did you think it would be easy? I don't expect you to win. I don't even expect you to live, only endure. Who wrote this? This is by Rob Hoagie. He wrote Final Exam, Every Dog Has His Day, Transformation, Deception, Employee of the Month, Homecoming Part 1, Snowblind, Lightspeed, and Titans Together. I've already said my piece on the episodes before Season 5. Out of Season 5 episodes, I really like Lightspeed and Titans Together. This is a phenomenal record. Beast Boy mentions the Wet Willy maneuver. Slade gives Star the Ring of Azar. The way Robin and Star looked at each other before he left looked like they were about to kiss, but no, that's to be saved for the movie. BB turns into a whale inside of Trigon's ear to start their battle. That's creative. The ring protects them from Trigon's attacks, so he creates evil clones of the three to fight them. Robin and Slade fight monsters with their staves, and there's a little motion blur and camera shakes. They literally go back to back too. I love seeing heroes and villains with great dynamics being forced to work together. The two become synced and the action becomes a spectacle to watch. Slade's mask is taken off and his skeleton face is revealed underneath. Robin forces Slade to explain his situation. The flashback looks cool and has Bloom again. The trio fight their clones. Cyborg vs Cyborg has motion blur and slight shaky cam, along with good choreo, making it look like Samurai Champloo. Starfire's does too. Cyborg brings back the shoulder rockets. He brings back the double cannons too when he slowly walks up to his clone. That was already cool, but the music makes it even cooler. The clone also brings up that Cyborg's mom is dead. Another part of Evil Cyborg's trash talk is mentioning his weak spots. Evil Starfire's trash talk is all about Robin. Evil Beast Boy talks about Terra dumping him. I like how Robin doesn't forgive Slade for helping him find Raven. They shouldn't have forgiven Terra either. And I was right about the sword. Robin puts together two bird rings and makes a sword that was introduced in Spellbound. That's so cool. And then the shaky cam and motion blur. The action scenes in this episode are the best in the cartoon. The episode ends with Robin finding Kid Raven. The action was phenomenal. Slade had cool dialogue. Robin and Slade teaming up was epic. The music was slapping. The fighting never lasted too long or felt static. The plot kept moving along. This was a great episode. One weakness I would say for this finale so far is the absence of Raven. Robin and Cyborg were clearly the protagonists of their finales, but here, Raven is only occasionally here. She was the main character of Part 1, but she's only in the cliffhanger of Part 2. This is the season finale. The episode starts with an unnecessary recap. The Titans start losing to their clones. Trigon reveals that he's always known their plan. After chasing Kid Raven, Robin is able to gain her trust. Slade finds a gate guarded by a giant and begins to fight him to get his body back. For some reason, out of the three, Cyborg is the only one consistently losing. The others sometimes get the advantage. Then they come up with a plan of switching opponents due to Cyborg's remark of being able to beat BB. Psy fights BB, BB fights Star, and Star fights Psy. They all win and Trigon steps in to fight. The animated background looks good as usual. He summons the fire monsters to fight them and they flee. While Robin is taking Kid Raven somewhere, he drops her. His solution is to jump down from a high spot, grab her, and grappling hook to safety. I'm telling you, he does this a lot. It's his signature move. Raven regains some memories due to Robin telling her her life story. Raven believes it's hopeless, but Robin remains optimistic, like in part 1. Slade is struggling against the guard, but he blows up the door with a bomb and his body is returned. Slade has amazing one-liners and picks up the guard's weapon. Robin returns to the Titans with Kid Raven. The ring of Azar is broken, increasing the stakes. The Titans are frozen by Trigon, but Slade comes back with his flaming two-headed axe and strikes Trigon, freeing them. He's so cool. The Titans and Slade fight back Trigon using teamwork, but he eventually knocks them out. Raven turns back into a teen and keeps her white outfit to challenge Trigon. She uses a white raven to banish Trigon and return the world back to normal. Slade got away and is still alive. Robin says that Raven is the most hopeful person because she was created to be evil but became a hero. And then she says the line that represents the theme: "You can decide your own destiny." This theme was properly set up because I was able to predict it back in episode 1. Then Raven says, "I guess in the end, there really is no end, just new beginnings." I like the way the title of the episode is said in one of the last lines, like only human. This was a great finale. Overall, the action was great and the plot had high stakes. Again, my biggest issue is Raven herself. She's not in her own finale that much. Robin was still the protagonist in part 3 until the climax. Unlike Robin and Cyborg, she did not carry her finale. All the heroes played an equal role in lifting the weight. Additionally, her arc was so underwhelming. She learns to be more hopeful and learns that she can choose her own destiny. That's it. It's not as insightful as the other two character arcs. Robin learned how similar he was to his arch nemesis, but also learned the key difference. Cyborg's leadership plotline finally pays off, and he learns that he doesn't need external factors like his own team to feel complete. Those arcs are specific to them and take advantage of their unique qualities. Being hopeful could be written for any character. Another issue is the villain. Slade and Blood played interesting roles and were an important part in the hero's character arc. Emotionally, Trigon told Raven that her destiny was to bring about the end of the world. Physically, he destroyed the world and sat in a chair for most of the three-parter. He's a boring character, and his role in the story is decent at best. Slade forced Robin to make a difficult decision, and Blood turned Cyborg's tech and team against him. Even Season 2 was more interesting, with Tara being Slade's spy and her betraying her friends. This finale was the coolest so far, but it lacked the amount of substance and depth as the others. As I expected, Season 4 is great, but Season 3 is slightly better. Season 1 still remains untouched. The issue of key episodes lacking a theme is still present. The key episodes in this season are just passable. The great episodes were The Quest, Cyborg the Barbarian, Troq, Stranded, Overdrive, and The End. The okay episodes were Birthmark, Employee of the Month, and The Prophecy. The weak episodes were Don't Touch That Dial and Mother Mae Eye. My top 5 episodes of the season are The Quest, The End, Troq, Stranded, and Cyborg the Barbarian. While Season 3 had lower lows, it also had higher highs. My top 5 overall so far are Masks, Only Human, Deception, Apprentice, and The Quest. The music also got better. In Season 2 and 3, I barely noticed any interesting tracks, but this season had some good ones. The next season is the last. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.